about self-care.
Okay.
What does self-care mean to you?
Choosing you,
Hey.
putting yourself first. I think sometimes, owning it is self-care. Being self-aware, telling yourself, I think you're beautiful, telling yourself that you're the ish. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I think also for me it's good health. I think I'm at my best if my mind is at peace, and normally my heart is at peace when I'm jogging, when I'm trying out new.
Jogging.
I jog. Yeah, like I feel good. It makes me feel good, and I try out sports. Like I tell myself, okay, I'm gonna try out tennis because I've always loved it. I've just never done it. So I think self-care is being able to know what makes you happy, what brings you, I don't know, mental sanity, and then being able to just go for it because it keeps you functioning.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Like self-care is knowing yourself, loving yourself, taking care of yourself, or like it says in the name, self-care.
Yeah.
Taking care of yourself, not just your outside, but also taking care of your inside, your inner person, making sure that you're fine, like checking up on yourself, to sit down and really be like, Thando, are you okay? Is everything going well with you? And just taking the moment away from all the noise, away from the busy schedule, to just do you.
Quality time.
Exactly.
But speaking of the inner you, have you ever noticed that if you remove toxic people in your life, they always say that, they always make you feel bad. They always say that you're selfish. But sometimes it's
So
okay to
you
be a
need to
little
love
selfish.
yourself enough to make sure that you don't have toxic people around you, because they'll poison you.
So over the past 2 years,
Mm-hmm.
I've become that person that fiercely, when I say I mean fiercely, protects their energy.
That's
I
good.
I don't have time. If I feel you as a person, maybe we are always in the same space, but I feel like every time I talk to you, either I leave feeling like, oh, I'm so burnt. I protect my energy fiercely.
I remember when I was talking to you the other day, and I was like, girl, today you're in such a vibe. I just couldn't understand it.
Yeah, I think it's very important, especially with people that we allow into our lives. I think the other thing is when you don't set a tone as to how people treat you from the onset, if it's a relationship or if it's a friendship. If I meet you for the first time or I'm dating you and somehow I don't take ground rules in terms of the kind of space I'm in and what I expect from people, it becomes very easy for someone to be toxic or people to just do whatever. And the other thing is when you're constantly allowing people to do that, you're forgiving them. You're saying, no, it's okay, you made an error once, twice, 3 times. I feel like we need to get into a space. Self-care is about being able to define your space and also claiming it, because sometimes you're like, no, I'm Thando, I love him, she's my girlfriend. We've been like in the same school, primary school, secondary school. We've been friends since like 15 years ago. And I'm like, your 15 years is not worth it if you're not bringing sanity to my mental space.
Wow.
So I think that self-care, being like what you say, it's selfish enough to say, no, I'm good, I'll pass. And it's not easy. I mean, it's easy to say,
But it's
not
it's not easy to do, yeah.
Like drawing the line sometimes. Like personally for me, I said this year, if you're going to talk to me about work, if it's not an extreme emergency, anytime out of my work hours, I'm not available. Because I realized that at the end of the last year, a lot of people are coming to me saying, Thando, you're withdrawn, what's going on? But I was so exhausted from work. Like I lived, I breathed, I ate, everything was work with me, to the extent that even the people around me were like, what's going on? Is there anything else outside of work that you do? So this year I was like, no, Thando, you love yourself, take care of yourself. There are healthy limits to everything.
True.
That's true, girl.
Especially the one about after work. I think it's because we are really nice people. So there are people that we work with, like we do work-related stuff together, and we stay. No, generally, I think I am a nice person. I'm much. Well, you guys are awesome. Maybe to me, but I'm just saying that people get so used to you being nice. Someone doesn't mind showing up at 9. Like just 2 days ago, someone called me. Now, if you don't have an arrangement to call, don't call me unless we have some level of relationship where you can call me anytime.
Thank
That's
you.
me. I don't apologize for it. So when you calls me, and this is a work, but like it's one of those, like it's work. And you says to me, why did you drop my call? And I'm like, we don't have an arrangement for a call. And it was past 9 in the evening. I'm like, you're my friend, you're my homie. But then there's certain boundaries that we need to place because I also have a life. You know, I should be comfortable saying no to a call. I know it sounds quite selfish, but I need to protect my space, guys. I don't have time to always be this fun. I'm not a machine. I need to take some time off where it's just me. And I think that's what self-care should be about. I read a post by this lady called Zana K on Facebook. She says that she took December and January off. She's a very hard worker. She's like a workaholic. But she took 2 months off, and people were like, no, this is Zim. You can't be, you know, slipping on money and things. And she was saying that I'm very effective if I've rebooted. Like, I need to refresh. I need to take some time off where I'm not, where people are, where people can access me. And I rebuild myself. It's very important when I start the year, I want to start fresh because I do more.
That's so true.
Yeah.
I really think as well, self-care differs for different people.
Yeah, it does.
I know you guys are on Instagram and it's always self-care Sunday. But I was like, I'm going to do my face mask and I'm going to have a lovely breakfast. And there's been the conversation that that's actually not self-care. Like self-care is not a mask on your face. It's not having a good drink when you feel like it. That's not self-care. So I feel it differs from person to person. For me, maybe chilling on a Sunday for me is self-care. Sometimes sleeping for me is self-care.
I think maybe the problem with the Instagram life, I'm going to say this from personal experience, people post what they want you to see. Someone could be a big blogger posting about chilling at a beach, self-care, etc., etc. But where they're posting it from, they're sitting in a dark, dingy room crying their eyes out.
Yeah.
That's
That's the point, because like what I was saying earlier about how we're always smiling in our pictures, we're always so happy online, but have we ever stopped to ask ourselves, why is she always like this? Does it mean she doesn't have a low? Maybe we don't portray it because we don't always bring our dirty laundry to the public. But then I feel like sometimes, especially with Instagram, there's that pressure. Like I also have had moments where I'm at my lowest. Now when I'm at like my worst, sometimes I just go through my stuff, like my pictures and stuff, and I'm like, oh, okay, I like this picture. Then I post with a positive statement. So for me, in as much as it's a positive state, it's an affirmation of some sort, but it's not reflecting where I am. So I think that's the other thing, like yourself, it's positive affirmation. I'm trying to rebuild this positive mindset around me, but it's not projecting where I am. And if Elsie wants to help me, she can't because she's just looking at this like, oh, thanks, dude, for, sending me this. I needed it. And then I started listening to her story. So I don't know how self-care can still be mandate, sort of like showing her weakness or being able to open up when I'm not okay. I don't know.
It's the power of your words, really, because usually what you speak manifests. If you're gonna wake up and tell yourself, oh no, I'm ugly, I'm hideous, I'm this, I'm that, that's what's gonna manifest. At the end of the day, that's what people will also see in you. They'll just be like, okay, this girl, let's just push her around. She's that girl. But if you wake up and you tell yourself, I'm beautiful, I'm strong, I can do this, I'm bold, exactly, I'm bold, I'm audible, like I don't need to shout, people can hear me, my ideas are good, whatever that you need to tell yourself and boost yourself. You're also taking care of your inner person. You're also taking care of your inner man. You don't need someone else to service you. You're servicing yourself.
True.
I read this post. It said that, girl, I don't care if your man got you. You gotta get yourself. You gotta be yourself. You gotta have you. You gotta be your number one fan. I feel like that's self-care. But the problem, I have a problem. Everyone will tell me these people are toxic. Yes, I can see that they're toxic. But I can't let them go because I feel like this person is toxic, but they can be redeemed or something like that. Would you say that I don't care about me, or would you say that I care about people more than I care about me, or would you say that I do practice self-care, but I actually see other people?
I think it depends.
Yeah.
If you're giving so much of yourself to people that you don't have any of you left in you, then it's not healthy.
Yeah.
You should, yes, it's good to care for people, it's good to be there for people, but at the same time, you also need to to cater to you. If you're balancing it out, then
It's
no
cool.
problem.
And also you being aware that these people are toxic, at least you know, and maybe you're making small steps towards saying, if I used to talk to them every day, maybe now I'll talk to them like 3 times
Or just
a
don't
week.
change and be like them.
Yeah, and the other thing also with friendships, like one of the things we discussed at some point as girls was, you know, it's okay for us to part ways and then come back later.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people are so scared. Like, we've been together, like, friends since childhood, you know, like 15 years. It's not worth your, you know,
Sanity.
yeah. So at the end of the day, it's okay to come to a point where, like, Miosha, you know what, I think we need to step, like, apart. I have a friend that I grew up with, like, we grew up together, same church, same school, same everything. But then when she finished A-level, I was in Form 4. And then she went to South Africa and stayed there a while. So she started changing. Her character, it wasn't in a bad way, like she started doing stuff, no. But we started drifting. And there was this tension that was there. So I went to her and said, no, we're faking a friendship to just keep it going. I think we need to detach ourselves. And we did. And then right now we talk. Like, this is like 3 years later. And we're in a better place. And I think that's okay as well. Like, even with relationships, it's okay to come to a point where, like, I've been building this for 2-3 years, or I don't know how long. But it's okay if you feel like it's at a certain point in life, I need to step aside and ask myself who I am outside you. What do I want to be outside you? Because, you know, we're so stuck on keeping it going. It's been there so long, but it's not worth your son. Like, I don't know. Self-care is choosing you, not in a way that, because sometimes in choosing you, you can push off people. And I read something that was saying, Guti, you might say people are toxic, but sometimes you're the toxic
It's
person.
you.
That's the
Because
thing.
you're the toxic
You need to,
one.
yeah, exactly. So you don't, it's not just about self-care, it's about also yourself. How am I to the next person? How do I treat other girls at work? How do I treat people generally? If you're able to see how toxic you are, you start working on yourself. And maybe those people are just toxic because, Lawe, you're just giving that vibe. So they're giving it back. So if you're able to model the kind of treatment you want to give other people.
I like what you said about working on yourself when you realize that you as a person, in some instances, you are toxic.
Yeah.
But you work on yourself because then you're choosing you to want to
Exactly.
be
A better person.
a better person. Like, sometimes self-care is not always like generic. You say self-care is just, you know, doing this, which is fun, which is like
Going for
sometimes. I think
massages.
sometimes self-care can be tough because you have
Yeah.
to admit certain things about
Exactly.
yourself and be like, Elsie, okay, you're not good at this, but what can you do, and what's the road like to get to where you want to be, and you're taking care of yourself like that.
And self-care can be looking good. I mean,
Yes.
it can be how, yeah,
If you
it
look
can.
good, you feel good.
Exactly. It's also about how you just, we spoke earlier about big bodies, slim bodies, and things like that. Self-care can be about finding what works for you and owning it.
Yes.
Because whatever people say in the streets, it doesn't change anything, because you already, you know, you feel good about that. This is me, this is what I'm pushing. It helps you, I don't know, build your confidence around who you are.
I think that's a really important aspect of self-care, knowing yourself enough to not allow other people's voices to change your perspective of yourself.
Wow, guys.
If you know, I am this person, even if someone comes to me right now and goes, Thando, you are ugly because you are dark, I'll tell you black is beautiful. The darker the chocolate, the sweeter the juice, the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice.
Yes.
That's what I'll tell you, because I know I'm beautiful, whether light, whether dark, whether whatever.
Exactly.
You get it? And no other voice is going to change that or take that away from me.
Guys, did I tell you about this encounter? Like, I was buying shoes, I was buying trainers. So the thing is, I asked someone, do you have size 7? Anzoni, size hobo. Size hobo boots. Guys, the younger me was going to be offended. But I was like, you know what? Seva numbers are size hobo, because my size hobo, because I've embraced it. I would buy a size 5 or 6, so that I have a tinier foot. You know, like you know where you actually you feel pain, but you're trying to enjoy it because you want to fit in and appear cool.
And
But
you know, the
self-care
people
is
you're
choosing
doing it
you,
for
you know.
don't care.
They don't. Oh my
You know, we
God.
worry, like, especially if we're working in this, I always tell people this, like, if I'm dressed a certain way, or if I'm comfortable with the way I look or the way I am, and then I'm walking in the streets and someone says anything, people comment, especially yellow ones. I don't know what's wrong with being yellow. People say there's nonsense comments in the streets, right?
Yeah.
But I always say that I don't know you. When I pass, I will never see you. Even if I do, I'm in a different
We don't vibe.
It doesn't matter. So that's one thing we need to understand, that the world doesn't care about you. They do that every day. So it's going to be you today, another person tomorrow. So the moment you start giving it attention, I mean, it just kills you.
I think we
They
should
go
just have
on
a-
living,
We
yeah.
We should just have a new quote. The world doesn't care about you, so you need to care for yourself.
Exactly. But it's difficult.
But that would be bad for kids because the kids feel like the world cares. Yeah.
It does. Okay. It's
Not in
no,
that
I
way.
think, I think when we're saying the world doesn't care, there's people, you know, like we're saying toxic people. It's not everyone is toxic. There's always those people that are modeling the right thing. Bravo. But I think it's very healthy to prepare yourself for a society that's not very welcoming,
Yeah.
because they're gonna say stuff. I remember yesterday I went to the Vagina Monologues, right?
Yes.
And I was wearing this crochet set, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so cute. That's
I
so
felt
pretty.
good, man. Like I was happy. Now I was good, right? And then we're just walking in the street. Then this police truck passes, and this guy says to us, my pictures, makafika," like that at this time of the day. This is a police officer.
Wow.
And I was just thinking to myself, so if someone had done that and I wanted to report it to a cop, where do I start? Because you're the one that's propagating this mindset. But I went on, we're taking pictures. We went on taking our pictures, left, went for an event. My life was good. Like right now, I'm still good. If I'd given it attention, the thing is, don't give negative energy attention.
Yes.
Because,
Protect your
yeah,
energy.
if you let people think they can do certain things or say certain things and it changes your mood or whatever, they're going to think they have control over you.
You're giving
Yeah.
them
In a
power,
way,
actually.
you're giving them
In a
power.
platter. Yeah.
They're abusing you. It's wrong. Don't take it.
Love yourself.
Love yourself and cheer yourself on.
Yes.
Like, yes, Miosha, you're doing
Yeah,
it.
your best cheerleader.
Yeah, because if you don't love yourself or treat yourself the way you want to be treated, we won't know how you want to be treated.
Exactly.
If you don't tell us that time for you is important, so when you come in for a meeting, if you say it's an hour, 5 minutes to you need to be wrapping up a conversation. If you just keep talking, we'll just think, oh, maybe she has no other
Exactly.
meeting to go to.
Mhm.
So you are setting a tone for how you want people to relate and treat you.
That's
So if you love yourself first, then everyone else will be like, oh, okay, so this is how she wants to be.
Yeah, and
valued.
they start adjusting
They
to
start
that.
adjusting according to what you say. And I think a lot of people don't understand that
Exactly.
because we're trying to be pleasing people. So if I dress like this, will it make them happy? If I speak like this, if I'm not so loud, and all of that, and you're just giving people so much power that initially they don't have.
And
if
they
you
don't
said-
have it. Like also the other thing is when people think they have that power, they abuse you. And also just the
Yeah.
other thing I'm thinking is when it comes to self-care, it's not just about really being positive, confident and all that. It's also about you and how the energy projects to other people. You know, there's some people that are so negative. I think I'm very sensitive to how people react to my things as well. Like if I share with you something, let's say it's good news or it's this outfit that I'm trying out and things like that, and then you're like, oh, that looks nice, and that's it. Or you're like, okay, we expected you to excel in this. I'm just there like, wow.
And then
It hits me some type of way, but I don't normally like pursue it because I'm like, no one owes you
No,
a certain
so-
level. Yeah. So I think it's also you as well because you might be that person towards other people. Like when a girl is looking good, guys, say it. Now I'm one weird person. When I'm walking in town and I see a girl that looks good, I'm like, wow, you look good. If your shoes are nice, I'm like, your shoes are nice. I don't say your shoes are nice, where did you buy them? Like, that's what we do. I just say your shoes are nice and I move, Andy. You don't know what positivity you're speaking into that person's
Yes.
day. So I think it's also about how we look at other people, how we treat other people. When someone is going through the most, you don't have to ask them what's up. Just give them something positive to hold on. That's self-care. You're building yourself to be positive energy and you're projecting that to other people.
yeah, true.
Yeah.
They may need it
True.
and you don't realize it.
Right?
Like if we're at spaces like this, you know, that make us feel good about ourselves, where we can talk about, okay, this is what makes me happy. I love jogging, and someone's like, skinny, but you guys are not saying that. This is what's there, and we don't blame the world for thinking some type of way. It's a learning process. People are learning to appreciate other people and the diversity that comes with human beings. But at the end, I think it's about working on mandate.
Work on
Not
yourself.
just to be
Yeah.
better for myself, but for the people around me. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about me. We live in a world
We live in a
that's
community.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
making yourself, you know, with the community.